Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kim with Creative Crafticality, and today I'm going to teach you how to make a unicorn loaded envelope, the basic construction that is ready to fill with all the goodies, embellishments, cards, and things like that for some happy mail. I am doing this loaded envelope for a swap, so I wanted to show you how I did the process of making it. So the things that you will need for this project: for the tools, you will need a scoreboard, some glue, a pencil, some scissors, and a paper trimmer. And then the paper you will need is one piece of 12 by 12 cardstock in the color of your choice. That will be for the basic construction of the envelope. I have two pieces here. I'm not sure which color I'm going to use. And then you'll need a pink piece of cardstock. Doesn't have to be very big, it can be a scrap. You will need a piece of white cardstock, either 8.5 by 11 or 12 by 12. A piece of gold or yellow, that will be for the unicorn horn. And then I am using this unicorn paper pad that I picked up at Michael's. It's called Sparkle Magic Wow. And this will be my paper that I will be decorating the base of the loaded envelope with. So it has several different really cute papers. They all have gold on them, but it's a unicorn theme, rainbow theme. So I have that. You can choose whatever paper pad you would like. I've seen several different rainbow unicorn kind of themes at Michael's, or you can use whatever you have in your stash. So why don't we get this stuff cleared off and we will get started. Also, if you have any embellishments as far as ribbons and flowers and things like that, I am going to be making flowers out of my papers here, but you can do whatever you'd like to do. I will come back in with my rhinestones or sequins, buttons, things like that to add to the whole project. But I will bring that in later, so it's just really up to you. So let's get started with this project. So the first thing you will want to do is take your 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, and you're going to start by scoring it at 3 1/4, 3 1/2, and 3 3/4. And then you're going to score it at 8 3/4, 9 inches, and 9 1/4. Now you're going to turn it to your right just one time, and you're going to score it at 3 inches, 3 1/4, and 3 1/2. This aside for a second. Now what you want to do is decide which side of your cardstock you would like to be on the outside that you're going to actually see when it's all made. I think I want this textured side. This paper has a smooth side and a textured side, so I want the textured side on the outside. So now I'm going to the very middle line here on each side. Here you're going to fold in. So I'm going to fold this side in and do that on the other side. So I hope that makes sense. Those are the innermost fold lines. Now what you're going to do is fold one side in where you had it folded. Now you're going to fold in on that next score line over, fold it back. score that all the way down. If you want to take your bone folder, you can do that. And you'll do that on both sides. This is probably the trickiest part of the process here. And now you're going to fold this back in on that last score line. And do that on the other side. Now open it up. You're going to do the same thing with your 3 lines down here. With the innermost score, you're going to fold that in and then fold it out on that middle score line. And then fold in on that last score line, just like you did the other ones. So this gives you a little gusset at the bottom and on the sides. Now what we're going to do is fold it in like this, and then you're folding this part up. So that gives you 2 gussets in this front pocket. And then this is gusseted here, and then this is where it's going to be joined in the front here. So what I'm going to do now, if you'd like to open this up at the top here, you can. It's usually what I do. So I'm going to put some glue. I'm going to go about 1/3 of the way up from here, or about halfway, I think. I'm going to put glue up to the halfway mark. After this is pretty dry here, the next thing I'm going to do is fold back 2 little flops here at the top so that you can see things that are hiding that you choose to stick down in there. I'm using a couple gold brads that I had in my stash. These are just basic ones that you can get at the office supply store. So I'm just going to fold it back here and push my brad through. I might need to use my scissors, I think, just to poke a hole here. Or if you have some sort of paper piercer. Actually, that's what I'm going to get, is my paper piercer. I'm just going to pierce directly through both. Be careful not to go all the way through to the back, because then you'll have to cover that up if you do that. That. You can just leave the brads as is like this, or you can cover them up with some sort of embellishment or something like that, but this will match my paper because my paper has the gold. If I can just get it through here. There we go. You can also glue this down. I just find that this holds it better. And since I'm just rounding here instead of making it flat, it'll hold it down better. So there. Now before I fold this up like so to make that second pocket back there, I'm going to put some paper right here to cover up this where it's joined. So I think I'm going to use this pattern here with the unicorns. So I'll use my scissors and just draw where I want it to be. I want a slight teensy weensy little border, and then come up to about there. That's about where I'm going to put it. Let's go ahead and glue that down. You're welcome to use any kind of adhesive. It just needs to be something strong. So a double-sided tape would be good. I like tacky glue. I use that on a lot of my projects, mostly all of my projects. I find it like adds a sturdiness to it as well after it dries. Next, I'm going to take and run a line of glue up here and on the other side. And then just turn it up like that to make my pocket. And you just want to hold that there nice and just let it dry. Now you're going to take your 8.5 by 11 white cardstock and you're going to cut it down vertically at 2 7/8. So you have a 2 7/8 by 11 inch strip of white. Bring in your scoreboard, and at your scoreboard line up that piece going the long ways here, and you're going to score it at 2.5 inches, 3 inches, and then 8 inches and 8.5 inches. Now go ahead and fold these. Fold both, all 4 of those score marks. And then this is going to wrap around onto the other side, and don't worry, we're going to cover that up. But it is going to make us a pocket on the back to slide some thinner items in there. But it is also going to make us the start of our unicorn head here on the front. So go ahead and glue that down. On the back here, the only parts that you'll want to add glue are along the bottom, because you want to be able to use that as a pocket. So I'm just going to put a line of glue at the bottom of each side. And just let that dry. On the back here, I'm going to use what's left of this piece of the unicorn paper, and I'm just going to cover this part up just so that part is, the seam is covered up there. It looks a little bit nicer. I'm just going to draw where I want it, or mark where I want to cut it. And go ahead and glue that down. I'm going to put it on here so that I don't get glue in between there and shut off my pocket. I'll probably be putting paper here, I'm not sure yet, but let's work on the front here. We're going to make this a unicorn. This is the head of the unicorn. So the first thing for that is that we want to cut a unicorn horn. And I'm just trying to decide how big. Let's see. I'm just eyeballing this. I think it's about 3 inches tall. Yeah, that works. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue that down right in the center. Now, using your white cardstock, I'm going to make the ears. You're just going to eyeball about a 1 inch tall ear. The base is probably around 3/4 inches. I think I want them a little bit bigger than that, so I'm gonna I like that better. Let's see. That is about 1.5 inches tall and 1.5 inches at the bottom. So it's pretty much a, what is that called, an isosceles? So cut 2 of that size. Before we glue it down, take your pink paper and cut the insides of the ears. So you want it to be a little bit smaller. That. Go ahead and glue those down. Tuck the ears back behind the unicorn horn. Using these 3 pieces from my paper pad, I'm going to put 3 little rosettes across the top here. So what I want to do is cut 3 squares that are 2 inches by 2 inches, one of each of the pieces of paper. And taking my scissors, I'm going to start by cutting this round, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Just going close to the edge and making this a circle. And when I get back around here, I'm going to start making this spiral. Cutting it in a spiral, just going towards the center of that circle. And you're going to leave a little bit along in the center. So I'm going to leave that much there because we need that to glue along the bottom. And then just go ahead and do that for each one of your squares, or however many flowers you want. You can make them this way, or if you have pre-made flowers, you can do that as well. I am making this for a swap, and I already made a little treat box and a card. If you'd like to see the tutorial on how I made those, I will put the link for it down below. What you're going to do is, starting on the outside here, start to roll the paper in on itself. And I kind of bend it out as I go, just so you can see the pattern. And you want to form a little rosette. Just like that. And you're going to take some of your glue. You can use your tacky glue. It'll take a little bit longer to dry, or you can use hot glue. But I'm going to put some glue on that little center circle there. Now I'm just going to glue these down right on top of where the ears and the horn are. I kind of stagger them a little bit. That one's up a little bit higher. Just like that. Now using your pencil, draw in a couple closed eyes. Seems to be how the unicorns are drawn in, to where it's just like a little eyelid with the lashes. Then I'm going to come in with my black marker. And I just have a thin black marker. This is a Tombow marker that I use for my lettering. But it has a thin point. Construction of my loaded envelope finished and my unicorn made. I'm going to go ahead and put this on fast forward and finish decorating my envelope, and then I will come back at the end and show you the final product and go ahead and stuff it with some embellishments and goodies that I have picked up to load this up, and we'll see how it turns out. Alright, so here's all the things that I'm going to load up into my envelope here. Hopefully I'll be able to fit them in here. But I had made a card, and if you would like to see the video on how I did this, I'll link that down below. I also made a wand, I made a paper clip, I made some bows, and I did 2 of these sparkly purple ones and 2 pink ones, and then I just packaged them up here. I made 2 double bow embellishments. I also made these rosettes with some unicorn heads on them. I made 2 note cards with envelopes. I didn't have any bags that fit the envelopes. But here is one card that I made, and then here is the other card. And then I just bagged them up with the topper. I also made some simple tags using some of the cut-aparts. So that's what those look like. And then I'm including some more of the cut-aparts, and I'll just slip those in. I also made a little tiny gift card envelope, and I put some die cuts of the unicorns in there, as well as some stickers and another little cut apart. And then I have these envelopes or cards that I picked up for her that are a unicorn. I also have a keychain that I found, and then I have a journal and more of the paper to go along with it for her to use on other projects. So I just tied them up here, and these won't fit in the envelope, but I'll stick those in the box. So let me go ahead and see how I can fit these in here. I think I'll stick a couple of these down below here. In the front pocket, as well as the little envelope. Like that, and put these up in here. I'm going to put these cut aparts, slide these in the back pocket. Just like that. Put these back here. Don't quite fit. Stick this up here at the top, and then stick this in on the side here. I think that's just about as much as I'm going to fit in there. So I hope you liked this video. This was a fun swap to make, so I hope my partner will like it, and I hope that this gives you inspiration. So give me a thumbs up if you like this video, leave me a comment and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. This is Kim with Creative Crafticality. Bye, God bless.